According to the Statistics Department's Labour Force report, the unemployment rate was at 3.3% in 2018, while the unemployment rate for youth was at 10.9% during the same period. Based on Organisation for Economic Cooperation Development's OECD, a nation has full employment if the unemployment rate is under 4%. Nevertheless, it is no doubt that the youth is going through a hard time getting into better positions in their lives.
The word of unemployment refers to a situation when a person actively seeks job for employment but is unable and unsuccessful in doing so. The level of unemployment is a crucial indicator of the state of the economy. Job and career path present day comprise a wide range of opportunities and threats due to the rise of globalization, technological disruption and technological advances that are transforming consumers' preferences and lifestyle. As we move into the 21st century, it is clear that tertiary education is now universal throughout the world. Many students go for tertiary education with the idea that the completion of tertiary education certificates indicates the student's qualifications and expertise in order to obtain a better job, prospects, and achievement. Graduate unemployment becomes a typical issue as a result of comparison between graduates who are discovered to be across the world. A total of 116,161 freshly graduates students were unemployed in 2020, as the rate of unemployment for the freshly graduate student increased to 25% from 13.8% the previous year. This is due to the fact that in 2020, the country witnessed a slowdown in the demand for labor in the nation as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic adverse effects.
For possible employees to be experienced. But how would that be possible for the youth if the chance wasn't even given to them? Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM) said between 2010 and 2017, the number of tertiary graduates entering the workforce surpassed the number of jobs created for them.
I think the three critical skills again comes down to very simple basic things but are very important: communication, self-confidence, and also having experience while you're studying. The most important is not the salary, it's the experience. Because once you get good experience, the salary follows. And sometimes if you chase high salaries, there are a lot of other things also, longer working hours, a lot of stress. So we tell the students, don't just look at the monetary element. Because the employers can throw a lot of money at you, but behind that, there's a lot of other things that go with it also.
Hello, my name is Nasha Zarina, and now I'm going to discuss on the issues. So the first issue of unemployment among graduates in Malaysia is regarding the demand of salary from the graduates. This has become an issue because employers are not willing to pay the fresh graduates as they ask for high salary to meet the ever-growing cost of living. Furthermore, the demand of the fresh graduates towards high salary may also because of their responsibility in settling their study loan and other related expenses, which is why they have decided to get an increase on salary. However, not all employers would be able to pay these employees, especially to small businesses, as well as the attitude of employers that are unwilling to pay more for the fresh graduates. As for instance, according to the survey made by jobstreet.com, Regional Communications head Simon C. said that fresh graduates were found hard to be hired because they asked for unrealistic salary, according to the employers, which 30% of the graduates want to be paid up to 6,500 ringgit. The second issue of unemployment among graduates in Malaysia is the instability economy faced by Malaysians. The instability of economy will cause employers to be more cautious towards the outflow of money by minimizing their spending towards the business, as it will also lead to low inflation. Therefore, with the measure taken by employers, this will give impact to the employees, especially the recruitment towards those that are just starting to find jobs, such as the fresh graduates. This is because, due to the challenging economic era, especially after the COVID-19 and the ever-changing technology, as well as the technology advancement, where the employer would rather choose machines to replace the workers in reducing the inflation to pay their workers. As for example, in 2001, the Malaysia Silicon Valley, a place of the country's industrial and electronic manufacturing, has decided to lay off more than 7,000 factory workers by the end of May.
Dia University graduates lack skill and experience is the final issue of unemployment. A significant barrier to hiring recent graduates is the most graduates lack interpersonal, ICT and English language skill. Lack of work experience makes it harder for graduates to get employed. Most employers worry that fresh graduates without working experience cannot handle real work, not because they are unqualified, but it rarely gets to study keep course material during the internships. Company fear that incompetent employee will damage their reputations. According to Mustafa Kamal, the director of Job Malaysia, said employers prioritize experience over academic qualifications or talents. Some graduates are poor communicators, especially in the English language, and have low confidence in society. This occurs that they failed the interview due to poor communications despite having qualifications. This is because large companies conduct most interview and graduates who cannot speak English lose interview interest. Poor communication skills are the main reasons most graduate applicants are not interviewed.
Next, we move on to the implication, where the first implication on the harmful effects towards the issue of unemployment in Malaysia is that when technology or machine are being used to replace the human labor, which it is done will give impact towards the labor forces as their skills are not required anymore. Therefore, this will cause an increase in the country's unemployment rate as the people are unable to compete with the technology used, especially to the fresh graduates. This is sad because the fresh graduates nowadays will be facing the globalization era as well as the 4.0 industrial revolution, where there will be no boundaries around the world. Machines are being used for every type of services, as well as getting access to anything will be just through the internet, and this has also given impact towards the use of technology around us in order to adapt with the trend all around the world. Besides that, the fourth industrial revolution is said to be the investment or phase towards the digitization of the manufacturing sector that is driven by disruptive trends including the rise of data and connectivity, analytics, human-machine interaction, and improvements in robotics.
Next implications toward the issue of unemployment is related to the lack of skill and experience among university graduates. Technical skill are a person's ability to use expertise or specific procedural knowledge. For example, skill in the field of engineering, accounting, or finance. This field is not only dependent on the knowledge theory only, but require appropriate training and experience. Mastery of skill technical and vocational among the labor force able to attract foreign investors in Malaysia. The concern of having technical skill is said to be one of the causes leading to the failure to get a job and not being able to compete with the workforce with the technical skill. The harmful effect of this issue is competitions between those experienced and very skilled. I believe most organizations will find the best employee that fit their criteria. For example, the organization will look at the skill in their resume so that they can do a various tasks simultaneously. Next is social factor will also affect unemployment. Every graduates worry about unemployment because finding a job after graduation is difficult. Long-term unemployment limit the ability to marry, buy car, and have their own house. Society believes educated people should have a better career than those who are not. Transition theory affect individual and relations. This will result in mental stress among university graduates because some think they will be judged if they do not have a job after graduations. Negative thought will make them doubt themselves and isolate them. Due to this, it can cause an upset family and worsen to society phenomena of a country. According to the British Harriet in 2020, the increase in unemployment will cause family fight and household collapse. This can lead people may steal, rob, or kill for money. Long-term unemployment often lead to illegal behavior. Thus, unemployment increases crime and harm. Finally, the economy will be affected by the unemployment as well. National income also suffer from high employment. This matter because a high employment rate reduces income tax collections. High employment can reduce economic activity and family income. Thus, taxes decrease. Tax cut reduce economic activity. This slow national development indirectly, the government cannot afford to build economic growth infrastructure when income falls. Unemployment also hinders economic growth and performance. Finally, unemployment can lower country's standard of living and increase poverty. Per capita income measures the population standard of living. Unemployment workers lower GDP and per capita income. This will lead lower population standard, uncontrollable employment, increased poverty. Poverty control rate costs a country a lot. The country's spending is focuses on the planning and funding poverty eradication program, which affect activity development.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Khairunisa. So the first question is it hard to find a job in Malaysia? Well, in my experience, I am not that difficult or hard to find a job because my family runs a business and my father itself employed me to be in his company. For me myself, I don't feel hard to find a job. Unfortunately, those fresh graduates started from scratch. I think it is very hard for them. It is very hard to find a job, specifically here in Sabah, Malaysia. Even KL ada cerita lagi lah. But in Sabah, I think it is very hard. So, why is it hard to find a job in Malaysia? I think it is because of the high competitions. Well, there are still a lot of people that are jobless. There are still thousands of fresh graduates are still finding a stable job for them. And I think it is a high competition between them. The second question is the basic salary in Malaysia is sufficient enough for living in Malaysia. I have two opinions. My first opinion is if you are single, if you are tidak berkeluarga and you still live with your parents, I think 1,500 is enough. But unfortunately, if you are married, a lot of commitments, need to pay debts here and there, need to pay bills, I don't think it is enough. 1,500, if I am not mistaken, the basic salary in Malaysia, is not enough for you to live in Malaysia. The third question, either city or rural have high opportunities in finding a job. I think city has a higher opportunities because banyak pelabur datang pergi bandar, banyak juga company yang buka ataupun firm yang buka, so banyak juga jawatan kosong yang dibuka. So I think in city there are a lot more opportunities to find a job.
Kakak, terima kasih kerana sudi beramah dengan dikalinya kebersamaan. Baik Kak, saya di sini seperti yang saya dapat tahu yang kakak sekarang ni merupakan kerja part-time di McDonald's Kak. Okey Kak, baik. Itu nama saya Joel, boleh cerita nama kakak? Jadi kalau cerita sampai kakak Ika betul? Okey Kak Ika. Kakak boleh cerita kakak Ika berasal dari mana?
Saya berasal dari Sempurna.
Oh Sempurna. So kakak merantau di KK untuk mencari kerja lah. Okay. So apa pendapat kakak mengenai pekerjaan yang ada di Sempurna?
Kalau di Sempurna dia agak susah sih dapat pekerjaan sebab di sana senang juga ada juga yang susah, tapi dia tidak melakukan macam-macam kerja KKL.
Jadi salah satu isunya adalah mengenai gaji lah. So compare di Sempurna gaji dia lagi rendah daripada di sebelah. So Kak, saya ada satu soalan lagi. Apa pendapat kakak mengenai kadar pengangguran yang ada di Malaysia? Since saya pun diberitahu bahawa kakak ini merupakan seorang fresh graduate yang baru sedang menamatkan pengajian di universiti.
Ada pengangguran sangat tinggi dan tiba belum pekerjaan yang sangat rendah
mendapat pekerjaan. So kawan-kawan kakak yang di universiti pun belum dapat pekerjaan lain apa? Baik kakak, saya rasa kami punya assessment pun sudah terjawab. Terima kasih kak tentang universiti pengangguran. Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Priti Shahira binti Zulkarnain. Now I'm going to explain about the recommendations. Now, in terms of suggestions or recommendations to resolve the issues faced by our country, which caused the unemployment rate to increase and affects the undergraduates' employment, includes how students graduating from university or college can overcome the student employment issues, which are increasing one's exposure to unrelated fields, picking up soft skills, gaining extra IT abilities, and more. Okay, so first of all, in acquiring soft skills, it can be suggested that soft skills are those that link expertise with objective attainment, whereas hard skills would relate to those learned through studying. It was suggested that adding soft skills would result in graduates who were well-rounded and therefore qualified for employment. These grades will have an attractive personality and also be intelligent, skillful, and technologically savvy. Then, to explain gaining exposure in unrelated fields. Graduate students would benefit from exposure to business and sectors outside of the fields of their primary degrees, in addition to understanding the abilities they have learned through their academic training. Additionally, thanks to the availability of online courses on websites like FutureLearn, Coursera, and Allison, students can improve their job-related abilities without ever leaving the comfort of their homes. However, because they are participants in the employment market, students should also be able to learn new skills, according to Chen 2016, Hawkins, and Winter 1996. Furthermore, the third recommendation includes students gaining additional IT skills. This is because almost everyone is dependent on IT nowadays, as it is faster and makes our lives easier. So people are expected to know everything about using IT, and even better, if they acquire additional IT skills to help the organization produce more effective output. Although a comprehensive degree in IT is not necessary for all vocations, graduates who have this understanding will have more opportunities because technology advancements guarantee that the world is moving more quickly than was previously thought.
Salam Sejahtera. My name is Myrin and I will continue to the next suggestion for this issue of unemployment among fresh graduates from Malaysia, which is firstly, the government need to increase as many job opportunity as possible for the highly skilled group, which is from diploma to doctor philosophy group. Basically, government may allocate the budget to help any industrial to give any graduate retraining for the specific skill needed for that job so that the development in economy will be equal for all people. Another alternative to reduce unemployment among graduates is government can help any graduate student who trying to start their own small business, such as opening a restaurant or provide any service to the public. The aid can be in terms of go create business in collaboration with Agrobank and SME Corporation. In this program, the government can help or may help in terms of license, guiding in terms of regulation, and a model loan to start a business, including paying the employee's salary. And the other benefit of this model loan is the student may pay the money after 3 years of starting business with low and unchanged interest rate. That's all from me. Thank you.
In conclusion, unemployment and job opportunities for graduates have emerged as significant world issues. Although there are constantly vacant opportunities in the market, however, it tends to be for low-skilled positions. As a result, this may contribute to the rise in graduate unemployment each year. The persons who are affected by this issue included students, parents, government officials, educators, and members of the business community. Hence, it is crucial to determine the factors affecting graduate unemployment and ways to overcome the unemployment issue among the fresh graduates. Looking at this unemployment issue, it is not only the government role and efforts in solving these particular issues. However, the fresh graduate itself also have their own role in order to solve the issue that they are facing, which are gaining and developing their own soft skill. This is because when compared to other graduates, if each of the graduates possesses a quality, ability, and talent, it can catch the employer's eye and increase the chances of the graduate student in finding employment quickly. The government and the other ministries must have a joint effort to tackle the unemployment issue among fresh graduates by providing and increasing the job opportunities for them in order to ease the unemployment pressure in the country and enhance the service system to help capable graduates create their own businesses by giving them financial and technological support. Naturally, when there is economic uncertainty, there will be less investment, less spending, less growth, and more unemployment issues. Millions of people's welfare, the financial and economic security, and the economy long-term survival will be impacted by how the countries itself respond to their rising unemployment rates.